समानाहृदयानिगः समानमस्तु वो मनो यथा वस्तु सहासति. Alike be our feelings, united be our hearts, united be our thoughts, perfect be your unity. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Well, the word self, we all use it. And we all mean it also. I'm sure we all remember that Columbus Day we observed just 1 month back. What does it indicate? Columbus discovered America. And then we can all come and enjoy this. Suppose he discovered and I do not come here. Does it mean anything to me? There are many persons who heard that Columbus discovered America and they never come to this place. To them it doesn't mean anything. It's exactly the same thing. Great saints and sages discovered the self, enjoyed its beauty, understood the meaning of the discovery. Suppose we don't discover it, what does it mean to us? We remain the same. That is exactly what is happening in this world. Jesus discovered, Buddha discovered, the ancient rishis of the Indo-Aryan race, they discovered. Krishna proclaimed about it. And all great saints, later saints also discovered. We all heard it. What have we done? Because we have to discover it for ourselves. Then only it has some meaning for us, otherwise not. Actually speaking, I have a problem to myself. All problems are connected with self. Therefore, there is a need, an absolute, what's called, need for my being to know what I am in reality. It is said that ignorance of self is nature to all animals. But in man it is a vice, because ignorance of self leads to unrealistic behavior. If I do not know what I am, how I can relate myself with all of you? How I can behave myself properly? Ask this question to yourself. Where am I? Suppose you discover somebody who doesn't remember his or her identity. Let loose in a big city. Somebody asks, who are you? I don't know. Do you know where he will be? In jail. In a mental hospital. Honestly speaking, we are all patients in a mental hospital. Undoubtedly, Sri Ramakrishna says mental asylum it is the whole world. And we are all patients in that. We do not know what we are. Even though the sages proclaimed, we read in the books, we hear in the sermons, but we do nothing. Therefore, there is a need for us to discover our own individual self. Then what happens? When you look at the world, you discover a new world altogether. A new world closely related to your own being. A new world which is your own. A new world which is one with your own being. My entire life depends upon this one subject called self, the knowledge of myself. Now, we have many definitions about the self. Psychologists, many of them in the Western world define self as psychic entity. Psychophysical complex, some unit, that is self. To some philosophers it is a projection of thought. Self is nothing but a thought, an idea. To some it is nothing but the physical being. Beyond that there is nothing else. Then what is the self? Why is there so much contradiction? From where we can learn the true nature of the self? That is our responsibility. Before you know anything, first we have to know ourselves. That's why the ancient Greeks and the Germans they used to say, self-knowledge is the highest wisdom. Before you know anything, first you know your own self. Then every knowledge becomes meaningful. Otherwise it doesn't mean anything. Atma Jnana in Sanskrit. The first word is called subject that one has to study. The entire Upanishad's lore, it tells us something about the self. It looks rather wonderful. How? So many scriptures, 10 Upanishads, 12 important Upanishads, only the subject is self. Why? There is so much importance. It has so many phases. To be frank, the self is everything. It is everything at the same time. It has its own ground. Many selves. To tell you the truth. There is only one self. And these are all its projections. That is the truth. There is one self. That the ancient Hindus call it Brahman. What is meant by Brahma? It's not a name. It's not a god or being. Vrihi means vast, expansive, pervasive. That's external substance that's called Brahma. That which is infinite, all pervasive, expansive, spreading, that substance is called Brahma. And that is within me as Atma, as individual as self. These two are not different, not separate. I will give you a better example. Take a big round dome, a glass dome, colored black. Make many holes. Put inside a light. Everything is dark. What do you see in that place? Through the holes, light coming out. To an outsider, there are so many lights. We are all so many holes, actually speaking. Through all these holes, that one light is peeping through. That same light, the same Brahman peeping through all these eyes, that's individualized self. Akshini Purusho Yovedaha. He who knows that being residing in the eye, he knows the truth. And all these two eyes, who is peeping? That's self. That individualized, cosmic, divine ground, that Brahman, that Godhead, that Father in heaven, the Divine Mother, that Allah, call it by any name. One without a second, Ekam Eva Vitiyam Brahma. There is one Brahman, indivisible, Akhandam Satchidanandam. One without a second, peeping through all these holes. Now what happened? When light comes through these holes, we identify ourselves with that simple light. I am separate, you are separate, you are all separate. Now here comes a big problem. Our identity. Here what is the truth? The truth is that one cosmic spirit, one Brahman, one Godhead, manifesting in this matter as multiple beings. Matter is there. In the matter, what is matter? This body mind complex is matter. In this matter, that light shines. That Brahman shining. This is a separate entity, separate unit. The fault is I identify with this matter, not with my ground, not with my light, not with myself, not with Brahman. And what is the identity? This matter, material identity. Just imagine, when you were a baby, what was your identity? The baby body, baby mind. Just for argument's sake, I am telling you. Now you have got this body, this mind. Throughout this number of years, you passed through so many bodies, so many minds. Now, what are you really speaking? After 10 years, your body mind will be separate. That psychophysical complex will be separate. What is common in all these things? You know what it is? Awareness, consciousness, that light. As light illumines, we call that light because it illumines. That consciousness illumines my being. I am asleep. Somebody wakes me up, I become conscious. What happened then? I am aware of the entire external world. That illumination, enlightenment, awareness, consciousness is what the light is. That is our true nature. That light, that awareness is our true nature. And that light, the psychophysical complex, moves, changes every moment. And finally, when I was once in a marketplace in India, there was a magician. He was showing many tricks. One spectacular one with a small box. He opened the box and started this magic. There was a little baby in the box. And so to all of us, says, here is a baby crying, mindless, baby crying. And put something to the mouth, so baby kept quiet and covered with the cloth. And it showed us many tricks. We all enjoyed it. Finally came with a plate to collect money. And everybody said, what is the matter? You have not done anything with the baby. I'll show you, he said. And it took money from all of us. And we were anxiously waiting to see what is going to happen to the baby. Don't be shocked. We removed the cloth. You know what is there? It's a coffin, a dead body. There's no baby there. A dead body like elderly person, holding hands. And then magician said, that was the beginning, this is the end. This we see every now and then. We are not surprised because it is happening. Here, within few minutes this happened, therefore the time factor. He removed the time factor. The baby suddenly became this body. Therefore we all saw with wonder, talk about it. It is happening every day. In the process, One thing doesn't change, that light. That light remains the same. And that light that is in me is in all of you same. Absolutely the same. All the great souls that realized truth, that realized God, they did not realize truth or God. Believe me, honestly. They realize their own self and they call it truth or God. There is no God beyond ourselves. There is only self. That they call it God. What is meant by God? Anyone of you know the definition of God? You don't find in dictionaries. I don't think you find it anywhere. This is the definition of it. G-O-D. Ground of our dwelling. That's all. God is ground of our dwelling. So we call it false church. What is false church? Buildings? No. 100 years back, the false church had none of these buildings. 100 years afterwards, many will be demolished, new buildings will come. But what is false church? The ground of this building. The ground of all these buildings is a false church. God is that ground. Buildings come and go. Bodies come and go. The ground remains the same. God, that light is the same. One light peeping through all these things. Holes are not permanent. The light is permanent. We are that light. There is a beautiful hymn composed by Shankaracharya. And that hymn says in the end, Chidananda Rupa Sivoham Sivoham. The great philosopher saint was illumined. He realized his own self. What did he call it? Chidananda Rupa Sivoham. I am that auspicious, blissful consciousness, nothing else. That light is called blissful consciousness. That self, that Atman, that Brahman is blissful consciousness. That is why Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Satchitananda Brahma, Satchitananda Bhagavan, Satchitananda Atma, Satchitananda Brahma, Satchitananda Bhagavan, incarnation. Satchitananda Atma, self is Satchitananda. What is Satchitananda? That is the true nature of the self. Sat means the truth. Many times it translated as existence, knowledge, bliss. Well, I don't quarrel with them. But the true meaning is Sat means truth. Chit means consciousness. Ananda means love. When they translate as existence, knowledge, bliss, they call existence simply because if it is true, it must exist. If it is consciousness, it must bring knowledge. If it is love, it must have bliss. But the truth is such that the truth, consciousness and bliss and love. Now let us take every word separately. What is self? Truth means it is the truth. What does it mean? You don't see the truth. Truth is inferential. You infer it. Suppose somebody asks, what is this? To find the material, I have to scrape off the paint, varnish, anything attached to it. And when I come to that core, it's wood. What is the substance of this? Wood. That remains when everything goes. Truth is inferential. Nobody sees it. The next is Chit, consciousness. What is consciousness? Awareness. Consciousness is experiential. We all experience it. Awareness is a common thing to all of us. The object of awareness may be different. The ground of awareness is same to all of us, same awareness. Consciousness is common to all of us. Therefore, consciousness is experiential. I know it, I realize it, I experience it. Well, what is the next? Love. Communicable. You can't hide love at all. Two things cannot be hidden. Fire and love. If there is fire, it must come out. If there is love, it comes out. You can't hide love. If you love somebody, you feel it. You express it. Communicable. You don't keep quiet. If you love somebody, you are concerned. You do something to him or to her. You try to express it because love is communicable. That is why great souls, when they realize God, they communicate. When Jesus realized Father in heaven, he didn't keep quiet. For 20 years he was away. Where he went, nobody knew him. When he came out, he illumined the whole world knew. Why? He gained that awareness and love. Therefore, he came out. He preached the gospel of love. Of all the great saints, Buddha stands before us as the best example. Because in Buddha's discipline, never he mentioned about love. He left his wife, his child, his kingdom, society, isolated himself in the forest. He wanted to realize the being in himself. Who felt that anguish? He wanted to find out. In the process, Buddha discovered. What he discovered? Some light that illumines the entire universe. When this ego vanished, he said, I am illumined. The light filled the entire being. Now what thing happened? More than that light, he became compassionate. A man who never loved anybody, renounced everything. Very austere life he lived. The moment that light filled his being, he became compassionate, loving. He was so loving. When he came out of that, he saw somebody dragging a little lamb to sacrificial altar. In those days, they used to sacrifice lambs to please gods. Buddha picked it up. It's lame, unwilling to go. These people dragging. Buddha said, I will come. I am willing. If you sacrifice a lamb, you get so much merit. By sacrificing me, you get more merit. Please don't kill this lamb. Kill me, he said. He was prepared to give up his life for the sake of that little lamb. Why? He loved it. He loved every creature, every being, because he was filled with the loving consciousness. The true nature of self is consciousness and love. Nothing else. That is in all of us. That is what the saints realized. What they proclaimed the whole world. Love God, love thy neighbor, love the enemy. Jesus Christ proclaimed. In all these things, one thing is common, love. Nothing else. Somebody asked Sri Ramakrishna one day, Sir, how do we know so-and-so realized God? What is the test? You know what Sri Ramakrishna said? Well, he doesn't grow two horns, he said. If you find somebody who is really all loving, all concerned, unselfish, cares for others, here you find some part of it. Nothing else. That is the test of our realization. If you are religious, if you are spiritual, that is the first test. Do you love people? Do you care for them? Not with if and but. reservation. Because the same light that is in me, in all of you. The same consciousness that is in me, in all of you. It's not different. For the time being, it is manifesting through this body-mind complex. Just a moment in that cell. 70, 80, 90 years is nothing in the course of this eternal period of existence. And that is the truth. And mind that our entire life here depends upon our knowledge of the self. Unfortunately, blunders have been committed in all religions. When they try to understand the self or God, they narrowed it down. Therefore, they created a cult, a sect, a race, a religion, a confined group, and they call it Islamic unity, Christian unity, Hindu unity, Buddhistic unity. They are all fictitious, meaningless, absolutely wrong terms. In one unity of mankind, no, unity of life. All life is one, all self is one. That unity is made in unity. This is the truth about self. In all beings, from the ant to the angel, the same self in all. The same power, plug in. It's a heater, it's a cooler, it cools down. It's a light, it's light. Small bulb, big bulb, anything you put. The difference is in the size of the bulb, the power of the bulb. The power is the same, electricity is the same. So just like electricity, in ours, the same self, passing through all of us. No difference at all. There is a beautiful Upanishad, Katha Upanishad. Very simple, straight, very instructive. There, a little boy had a good fortune to meet a good teacher. Fortunately, that teacher happened to be the Lord of that Yama. When he saw Yama, he wanted to know his function. What is your function? He said, I am the Lord of Death. And wait, if you are the Lord of Death, I have got some doubt about certain things. Some people say, when somebody dies, he exists. Some people say he does not exist. What is the truth? Then the Lord of Death said, look here boy, you are a young boy, you have got plenty of time to live. What do you worry about death? I will give you whatever you want. Choose any boon. Long life, plenty of wealth, prosperity, enjoyment. Anything you want, I shall give. But don't ask about the secret of death. Well, how to get a teacher like you? Getting a teacher like you, I am not going to ask for anything else. I want to know, tell me the truth. What happens when somebody dies? Some say he exists, some say he does not exist. That Upanishad, sir. Instead of dealing too much about death, the entire Upanishad deals with itself. What is that faces death? As I told you that going with the light, holes, suppose one hole is covered, what happened to this light? Anything happened to the light? What is death? Don't be shocked if I tell the truth. Death is nothing but this body becomes unfit to manifest that light, that's all. That life. Nothing else. Anger, old. Something happens to this body. Something vital is affected. It fails to manifest that life force and continues to be. That is the correct definition of death. Nowadays you got many definitions. Definition of bracing and brain, heart, this and that. The true definition is this. Fails to manifest and continues to be. You plug the hole, light doesn't come out. battery, solar battery. Expose it to sun's rays, it begins to function. Suppose it is affected, mechanism is spoiled, beyond repairs, then you throw it away. Just the body, just like that, nothing else. Don't weep over it. You weep simply because you have lost somebody. The truth is, the man or woman that dies, they do not feel just like us. They are happy. You know that? Those who die, they are happy to go. Why? They die only when it is unfit. A shirt is torn beyond repairs, throw it away. Don't cry over it. That is to us survivors, not to the dying. Dr. Ross has mentioned in many of his experiments, many people felt happy at the time of death. Death means something, nothing will happen to the life. Life cannot be destroyed. Werner von Braun, the great scientist, once said, if energy cannot be destroyed, consciousness cannot be destroyed. That is consciousness. Life is consciousness. Self is consciousness. In the Katha Upanishads, it is beautifully mentioned. Vayur yathaiko bhavanam pravishto rupam rupam pratrupo bhuva ekastada sarvabhutam taratma rupam rupam pratrupo bhaischa. Just like wind, a wind entering into this world of ours assumes different objects entering into it. It is contained in that and beyond that. This room, this area, that room. For the time being, this air has taken this form. Suppose you remove all these walls. What happens to the air? Same thing. Self entering into this body assumes this form for the time being. But really speaking, it is beyond. It is not confined. That one cosmic light assuming all these forms. Agnir yathaiko bhavanam pavishto rupam rupam pratrupo bhavuva ekastada sarvabhutantaratma rupam rupam pratrupo bhaischa. It's also fire. Entering into this world, burns an object, for the time it assumes that form. If a stick is burning, it takes the form of stick. A ring is burning, form of a ring. It is confined to this form, it is beyond the form, fire. So also, this Atman assumes this form for the time being. It is within this form, it is beyond this form. The self never dies. None can destroy. Actually, it's my experience. What happened to me from childhood up till now? I am the same. I feel it. If something, suppose finger is cut, amputated, I have lost my finger, that's all. I am the same. You never feel that you are different. What is that feeling? I am the same. The feeling, that's the consciousness. That's not a confined to the body. It is eternal with us. For the time being, identify this body. That's why Sri Krishna tells in the Gita, Yomam pasyata sarvata sarvam chamai pasyati. He who sees me in all beings, and all beings see me. He is that light. He is in all beings. All beings are in him. Therefore Jesus Christ said, Father is in me, I am in the Father, we are in you, you are in us. He tells his disciples in the end, after the Last Supper, he told them all, you are in us, you are in me. Equal to all the Bhagavan, Brahma and Atma are the same light. And Buddha actually saw it. When he was illumined, he said, somebody asked him, who are you? I am just like you all. When I am illumined and I see the same light of truth in all of you, he said. He It's a new perception, and you will be surprised to know. To see self in all equally, that is the highest realization. Not to see God in a form, in a temple. No. To see God in all beings, that is highest. To see the self in all beings, that is highest. Once Sri Ramakrishna asked Swami Vivekananda, what do you want? He said, I want to go to the Samadhi state, enjoy that bliss. Coming now and then, taking a little bit and going back to that, he said. Sri Ramakrishna said, that is the beginning. That is not the highest. The highest is, I want to see God in all beings, eyes open, he said. And that was the experience of Sri Ramakrishna. On one occasion, he had Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And it was slowly, when he was coming down, all the devotees were sitting there. When he opened his eyes, somebody asked, son, what do you see now when you open your eyes? I see the same light of God in all of you, sir. He was bound out to everybody, actually. It's an experience. Many times people think it's imagination, hallucination. Let me be frank with you all, it's absolutely an experience. Let me give you a good example. When I see a body, I see only body with all the limitations. When you pass an X-ray, you see more than the external. You have got the power to penetrate the external, enter into the inside. It is more than X-ray. Our consciousness has a level when it is absolutely pure, divine. That consciousness has power to transcend this body-mind complex. And then at that stage, from that, in that realm, you see the whole world different. You don't see the forms at all. Just like an X-ray, you don't see external frame. As you penetrate, so also, you penetrate all the names and forms. You see something new. It is not what's called a biblical statement or an imagination or philosophical concept. It's actually an experience of our Vivekananda. On one occasion, Sri Ramakrishna was telling everybody, showing the lamp post, water pot, everything is filled with God. And everybody heard it. But Swami Vivekananda was very, what's called, logical and scientific. And he thought, well, what you say, we accept many things, but not like this statement, he said. You can't call this a God, he said. You can't call the lamppost a God. Sri Ramakrishna, saying this, he ridiculed Sri Ramakrishna and laughed at him, and he was walking away from the room. Sri Ramakrishna came, you want to see it? He said. Yes. Well, Sri Ramakrishna came, just touched him. Just. Immediately, he looked around and shouted, what are you doing to me? I got my father, my mother, my house. They asked, what happened to you? I saw all these names and forms melted away. They cost me home. There are no forms, including this body. All melted away from that realm. Only cosmic whole, cosmic consciousness only saw. Therefore, it remained for 3 days this awareness. And to eat food at home, everything is falling off. Walking on the road, you wanted to see that lamppost, whether it is hard or solid or soft, striking his forehead against it. 3 days he remained in that state, and he told Sri Ramakrishna, I can't leave, he said. Well, I know it. Until now. You know, these great souls like Ramakrishna, what does it show? When I raise my consciousness beyond this body-mind complex, from that standpoint, I see the whole world as one. not so many selves, only one self. I give you an example to understand this. Suppose you are traveling through a river, entering the sea. When you travel through the river, enter the sea. When you go beyond this river, what do you see from the sea? All the rivers are there. You can enter into any port. When you go beyond your own river, when you enter the ocean, you can enter into any river. Why? All rivers, all these holes are getting light from the same. Suppose I go through my ray, slowly enter into that hole and see. From that, I see all holes the same light. When you travel through from radius, from circumference, you discover at the center, all radii meet. Source is center. God is center. God is center everywhere. When I reach God, I find everyone is there. That's why the definition of God and man. What is man? Man is a circle whose circumference is nowhere, whose center is himself or herself. God is another circle whose circumference is nowhere, whose center is everywhere. That is the self. That is to be realized. That is the truth about the whole existence. And now, have that knowledge. Move in the society. You will never be lost. So-called differences, temporal, momentary. Ignore it. Doesn't matter. Don't worry. All hatred goes away. All feeling of separation goes away. You begin to love everybody. You begin to accept everybody. That is why from that standpoint Jesus said, love the neighbor, love the enemy. There is only one self in all of us. That is to be understood. Self-knowledge brings us this wonderful feeling of oneness of existence. Unfortunately, all religions possess this knowledge. But ignorant people, ignorant followers, narrow it down. The world is suffering today from that narrow concept of Islamic self, Christian self, Hindu self. What hell we are created in this world? If you want to live in peace, we have to cut all the denominational differences. There is one self, one Godhead, one life, for all its manifestations. That is the Vedantic view of self. That you have to discover. Simply knowing won't do. My whole struggle must be to realize that self. By following any technique of any religion, sincerely following, realizing. We all have to discover ourselves. Then this world becomes meaningful. Humanity has somebody to serve. We accept, we respect, we love, in spite of differences like that. That is, interpersonal relationship will be improved by knowledge of the self, by discovering our true nature of ourselves, by knowing what we are in reality. Then, you see, life is different. Go anywhere, you know. As Holy Mother Sri Ramakrishna's wife said, the whole world make your own. All are your own. See in everyone this spark of your unity. And that is the purpose of life, to realize the self. And to see the self in all equal existence. May we develop this kind of consciousness. May we discover ourselves in our own being first. And see them in all. Equally relevant. Set in unity. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm sure the workers will answer some questions that the audience has.
Swamiji, what is that within us which makes us identify either with the matter or with our true self. Why do we have this tendency to identify with matter rather than with our true self?
Well, this only answer is ignorance. Ignorance is the cause. We do not know. Attempt should be to gain knowledge. Knowledge is power. First intellectual conviction, then intuitive perception. That is why we have to read in the scriptures and the words of great saints the truth about itself, and we have to be convinced and struggle to realize it. Ignorance is the cause of all this trouble. Our false identity. Unfortunately, we identify, it's not true. I identified with baby first. Now I identify with this body. Like this, I go on identifying with so many. That is the end. This identity is what's called out of ignorance. Instead of saying, I am in this house, it's I am the house. Actually, Purusha means that which is in thee. Puri means this whole body. We identify this body. I am this body. Something happened to me, I cry. I am actually in the house. I am not the house. That we have to all remember. This body is just like house to me. Let us not identify with this body. Yes, I have to take care of this body because when I live in the house, I take care of the house. I identify with every bit of this house, repair it, take care of it, but never identify with it. So also this body, mind complex. This is only superimposed on us. It's out of ignorance. And that is to be discarded. Then we will discuss what happens. The same thing is to be seen in others. That's false identity. When that goes away, intellectually, when we are convinced, then we struggle to realize it. Just like existence of America, Columbus declared. Now I see in the map. I am convinced from the experience of others, from the map, from the scriptures. Now, I take it. I ask somebody how to go there. I come here, I enjoy the benefit of this wonderful place. So also, first intellectually you must be convinced. That's why it says Sravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. First you have to hear, read or observe. Then you have to think about it. Then you contemplate and realize. Ignorance is the cause. Knowledge is the truth. Yes.
All beings, you see God in all beings.
Yes.
That doesn't mean just human beings. It means all
life.
My dog, my cat.
Exactly.
Hmm?
Everything.
Everything.
Wherever there is life, where there is life pulsating, love, life. Where there is life, there is God. No.
And it's not wrong to love a cat or a dog.
This is love it also God. It needs it. It needs the love. Yes.
And Ramakrishna helped us to realize the self as much today as he did when he was in the body.
Yes, exactly. You know why? Ramakrishna or Jesus or Buddha or Krishna, these great souls appear in this cosmic realm of ours. But they reach it in the spiritual realm such height. I don't know why, how it happened. They are even now. They do exist even now. Only thing is, two things help us. Devotion and one-pointedness. Pure devotion and one-pointedness. Many people realize you to the Buddha, Krishna, Ramakrishna, Jesus. Why? They have this devotion and one-pointedness. Pure devotion. Ananyas chantayanto mam. Without harboring any other thought. Sri Krishna says, think of me. Sri Ramakrishna said, Yashoikane, come here. Come here. Don't go anywhere. That doesn't mean others are denied. If you want, So any one of them you can realize a pure devotion and one pointedness. If you tune your mind to them, their grace, their blessings, their inspiration, you enjoy it today.
If I want to, it would help me to see Ramakrishna in every person I meet.
Absolutely.
Every
You can. I have seen persons.
honor him in that.
Oh yes,
in
yes,
the
yes.
Spirit.
Yes. I met a person who actually had an experience, who saw Ramakrishna in every being. When a Muslim was going with the repetition of Allah's name, in him also he saw. I met that Muslim, you know what he said? Pointed to that stone. Khuda ka bachcha hai, the son of Allah. Son of Allah, you don't know him.
And sometimes I'm reading Ramakrishna's books, make tears come down my eyes, like he's reaching me through reading his life.
Only one pointedness, pure devotion. What is happening? Let me explain psychologically. When you are one-pointed, when you have the pure devotion, this very mind, which is now projected outside in the matter and what's called thought level, is drawn in to a different, the same consciousness. Mind that. The same consciousness you have got now, which is now passing through this body-mind complex, matter and thought world, is drawn from there. In Raj Yoga it says, withdrawn, pratyahara, and put into that divine conscious realm. It takes that form. Yes. Psychologically and spiritually, it is a fact of experience. In Raj Yoga it is very beautifully explained. Pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Pratyahara means withdrawal from all, that is purity. Concentration on that one divine principle. Continue that concentration through meditation to samadhi. Yes, it can be experienced. Yes.
Do you give any method or fashion in which one can practice one-pointedness, concentration, and meditation?
Yes, there are so many techniques, no doubt. There is meditation, a technique is there. Well, in meditation there are so many methods. There is a definite method of following meditation, prayer, contemplation, and introspection. These things really help us. And they really help us to develop our own spiritual quality. Yes, there is. Yes, please.
How come when you have the feelings, the best law is to love your brothers, and you have the feelings of love, and you wish good for your friends and your next neighbor, and then you would like to transmit it and it doesn't come? Or the person, is it that the person is blind or cannot feel, or you are the person who cannot transmit the feeling?
So what do you mean to transmit it?
So that the person should be, if we are one, the person should be able to feel that there is no animosity, no hatred against. And most of the time in the world, the transmission of the good feeling of one doesn't go to the other one easily.
You need not worry about going or not. You give it without any expectation. There you don't ask what they give, what they... See, unfortunately, to love and to be loved is common. But to love is greatest. I don't expect anybody to love me. I love because I love in my heart. If you expect, then you will be disappointed. Because they are not the same level. We are all evolving souls. We are at different levels. Therefore, my purpose is, I don't care what others give or not. I give my love. I will be unselfish. I will share my feeling with others. I don't expect anything. Vivekananda once said, Give. Never expect anything. If you expect anything from anybody, your water dwindles to a drop. Expectation is disappointment. So give and give. Mother gives her love. Suppose she expects anything from the children, finish. You will be miserable throughout your life. Don't expect anything from your children. Love them, give them best, tell them, may God bless you, children go. Suppose you hold them, don't allow them to go anywhere. They hate you, they run away from your house. Love them till the end. Never expect anything.